Hello, hello, hello. Hello, beautiful people. Hope that each and every one of you have had an awesome and amazing day. So, welcome to Beautiful Living with Keisa, where we dive into real life conversations about living a fulfilled, empowered life. I'm your host, Keisa, the beauty coach. I empower women to live beautifully in life, business, and style. And I'm so excited you're here with me for tonight's episode. So, tonight we're talking about something that we all experience at some point in our lives, starting over. Whether it's after a breakup, a career change, or just deciding it's time for a fresh start, we all know that starting over can be both terrifying and liberating at the same time. But here's the thing: new beginnings are powerful opportunities for growth, reinventions, and rediscovery. So, tonight, we're going to explore how to embrace the process of starting over, manage those tricky emotions that comes with starting over, and turn your fresh start into something truly beautiful. We'll also be discussing how your personal style, right? How your personal style can reflect the new empowered version of you and give you confidence that you need to step into this new chapter of life, right? So, whether you're facing a major life change in this very moment or just ready to hit the reset button, tonight's conversation is for you. So, get comfortable, grab a notebook if you want to take notes, and let's dive into the power of starting over. When it comes to starting over, embracing the process, managing those tricky emotions is the key to making it a positive and transformative experience, right? Because those emotions can have us all over the place. It can have us doing some things and keep us stuck, right? And so first, you have to embrace the process of starting over, right? And we say, what do you mean, or how do you embrace the process of starting over? Because what we know is the process is usually uncomfortable. The process is usually something that you really don't want to go through, experience, because it is uncomfortable. Nobody likes the process, right? And so, in order to embrace the process of starting over, the first thing you have to do is accept where you are and let go, right? And so, acknowledging and accepting your current situation, where you are, right? Whether it's due to a life event or a personal decision, letting go of what was is the key in recognizing that it's part of growth, right? I've experienced two life-changing things a couple of life-changing things. However, when it came down to a life event, um, that could look like motherhood, becoming a mom for the very first time, right? And people who have not experienced motherhood for the first time, that could be a life altering experience, not feeling equipped, not feeling worthy or good enough to be a mom. How do I take care of this human being? All those things, right? Or it can come in where I am a mom, but it also can come in a form of, divorce. That was me. That was a life event, right? Personal decision. I walked away from my 9 to 5 after being there for 28 years because it was God led. But it still brought up a lot of different emotions, right? Both events, different things, right? And so it's normal to feel fear when you're starting over, whatever your start over is, right? Like I said, it can be career, it can be anything that causing you to be uncomfortable, right? It's normal to feel uncomfortable. It's normal to feel fear, the frustrations that come with it, sad, but accepting it allows you to move forward, right? So that's the first thing. So instead of focusing on, all those things, try to focus on the present moment and the opportunities that lie ahead. So the first thing to embrace the process in which nobody likes the process of nothing. Whatever it is, the process is always uncomfortable. The unknown that's in that process that makes it uncomfortable. So accept where you are and learn to let go. The second thing is shift your mindset, right? You have to you have to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing it as something forced upon you or seeing it as a failure, view it as a chance to start a fresh um view it as a fresh start, a chance for a clean slate, right? And when I think about clean slate, I remember having a conversation with a friend recently, and relationship wise, right? And I said, you know what? Let's just start over. And they said, what do you mean by that? I said, clean slate. Because sometimes you just need to say, we need to start over, or I need a clean slate in life, and whatever that looks like. In this particular case, I said, well, let's just throw out all the things, right? You have a clean slate. Now, what you do with the clean slate is up to you. However, that means all the stuff that what was is left in the past, and you have a clean slate. And that was very helpful in that particular relationship, to try to reset and get on one accord and get past the things that couldn't get past, but by just saying, let's just start over, right? And so clean slates are really good. So even if you're facing a major life change, if you left your job, or relationship has ended, or whatever that you having to move to a new state, or whatever that looks like for you, know that it's a clean slate. And when you shift your mind and your perspective, it turns from like it's a setback to this is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It puts you on a path where you are accepting where you are, and you can flourish from there, right? And so that leads me to the next thing. When you embrace the process, you set intentions, not just goals, right? Hey guys over there on Instagram, hey guys on all channels, I see you all, I see you. But so you set intentions, not just goals. And what I mean by that, goals are very important, but intentions help you align your actions, right, with your values and deeper purpose. So set clear intentions for what this new beginning is going to look like. And oftentimes we get a opportunity for a clean slate, whatever that clean slate is for you, and still don't take advantage of the opportunity for personal growth. We don't take advantage of the opportunity to sit and figure out, what is it that I want my life to look like in this time, right? What do I want for out of my life, right? It's the same stuff. You find yourself in the same situation. You have this perfect opportunity for growth, for improvement, to do something different. But instead of looking at it from that lens, you stay in the what was, you stay in the woe me, you stay in those situations that it's only going to keep you stagnant. So when we talk about setting intentions and not just goals, you need to say, now, I always say, sit down with yourself, self-reflect, sit down, pull out a notebook, write out the stuff that what do you see yourself? Write it out and be very intentional about those goals aligning with the intentions that you have for your life, right? But through all of this, I want you to be patient with yourself, because when you are starting over, honey, it is so easy to get in a space and place where you feel like something is supposed to happen right here and now. And when it's not happening in your speed, it becomes a thing where, you don't give yourself grace, and you burn in the midnight out. Or I know, because I've been there, right? I've been in that space where not being patient with myself, like, oh man, I should have did this, I should have did that, I shouldn't have done that, all these different things. But when you are reinventing yourself, it doesn't happen overnight, right? Give yourself permission to move at your pace. Not to say don't be stagnant. Don't be talking about, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll get to it. No, honey, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about doing something every day, but knowing that every little thing that you're doing is adding up to the goal, the end goal, wherever you're heading, knowing that it's adding up, and you are getting there, right? And so give yourself permission just to move at your own pace, knowing that each small step is moving forward, right? That's progress. It's progress. And it may not look like a check was written today. It may not look like a job called you back today. It may not look like that you got the house today. It may not look like, because if you want a house there, that's a process, right? You got to look at your credit. You got to look, it's a whole lot of different things, right? You have to look, it's a whole lot of steps. And then you get frustrated. Then you want to throw in the towel. Then you like, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. Then the houses are ugly. This ain't what I want. All these things. And then at the very end of the rainbow, you find that thing. And you look back at it and you say it was all worth it. But honey, baby, it was a process, okay? And so when we talk about starting over, know that it's a gradual process. And it's important to practice patience, and self-compassion as you navigate through it. So that brings me to managing these tricky emotions that comes with starting over, right? Because those emotions, honey, they don't give you a break. They don't ease off you. They just there, right? So starting fresh often comes with a roller coasters of emotions, right? From fear, from anxiety, from the unknown, right? Sadness, or even excitement. I have moments where I get really excited. Then I have moments of like, oh Lord, okay, wait a minute. But then I have grounded myself and started to learn scriptures. And when I have those moments, because sometimes I'm trying to think for tomorrow, and I'm like, wait a minute. The Lord says, right? Worry about today, for tomorrow has its own set of problems or issues and all those things. So be in the now, be in the today, and what I can control today, you can control that today, and that calms me all the way down. And I was like, okay, I got this for today. I'll worry about tomorrow, right? And so we have to learn how to manage those emotions. So whatever that looks like for you, when it comes down to managing those emotions, you need to figure out what that looks like. So acknowledge your emotions. Don't just skate over them. Don't just act like they don't exist. Say them out loud. Today I feel sad. Today I feel a little anxious. Why, Keisa? Why are you feeling anxious? Well, because X, Y, and Z. I do that often, and talking it out and speaking to myself on these things oftentimes help me to come all the way down, and I'm hearing myself. I'm able to self-reflect. I'm able to sometimes get to the root and the cause and some answers, and then it dissipates, right? So it's normal to feel a range of emotions when starting over, from grief for what you've leaving behind or to anxiety of the unknown. So acknowledge your feelings. It is okay. Have a support system, right? So don't go through starting over, whatever it is. Right now, I'm in a phase of, entrepreneurship. I've had been employed for 28 years with part-time entrepreneurship for a lot of those years. But then when you step out and say, I'm doing this full time, that comes with a whole range of emotions. But I am blessed to have a support system who may not have experience or not fully entrepreneurs, but I do have a set of entrepreneurs that I can call and be like, girl, or man, like, dude, like, what the world, right? They was like, yeah, but keep on holding on. It's okay. And those who are not, they still here cheer me on. Key, you got this. You got this. You got this. And so I can truthfully say that because of the support system that I have and the people that love and care me and answer the phone when I'm over here like, girl, I don't know what to do. I don't know how. I don't know about this, right? The support system is there to to support me and to help me to understand and encourage me to not give up, right? And sometimes they can give me advice, and sometimes they keep saying, you on the right path, just keep going. And I have to say, you're right, right? And so making sure that you have a support system. And then when you are managing these tricky emotions as it comes to starting over, and that's what I'm talking about, starting over in life, no matter what it is, whether it's a life-changing event, whether it's something that you did on your own. I'm sharing how I walked away from a job, right? From a 9-to-5 that I've been at for 28 years to do full-time entrepreneurship. And that was starting over. That was a life change for me. I shared a little bit about, not in detail because I've shared the story 15 million times. Go back and listen to one of the other things about, experiencing divorce, right? That was a life shift for me. However, it still was a start over, and that may not be your case, but in life, everybody under the sound of my voice have experienced the thing called is starting over time, right? And it's like and it's not the last. There are going to be more times in life where it's going to be periods where we are starting over. And so how are you managing those, what to do when you are in the process of starting over? I talked about acknowledging where you are. I talked about a couple of things, right? And now I'm talking about managing those emotions that come with starting over, because a lot of times it causes anxiety because we don't know. We so used to a certain thing and what this is going to look like for me now, especially if it's changing in your finances, right? You like, wait a minute now. I'm going out here to do what? I'm depending on what, all those things. And it's all the unknown in all aspects of whatever the new thing is for you. And so it's very important that you practice self-care. Starting over can be mentally and emotionally draining. So prioritizing self-care is so important. And things that I do and have done and continue to do when it's necessary, I journal. I get it off of me. Journaling is a tool that I use. Not in this season. I don't journal as much as I did when I was going through my divorce because I needed to get those thoughts out my head. And I put it on paper. To this day, I don't remember what I wrote. I've never gone back to look at any of those journals that I still have. However, it was a tool that I used to get all the thoughts out of my head and off of me onto paper. It was like a transfer of energy, right? Meditating, exercising, taking time to do things that bring you joy. Self-care keeps you grounded and it helps you to maintain emotional balance during uncertain times. So you have to learn how to take care of yourself, and you need to learn what is your self-care practice. So what is your self-care practice? Do you have one? Do you have a self-care practice? Put it in the chat. Let me know what your self-care practice is, right? And so we don't talked a little bit about what we don't talk about. We don't talk about acceptance and letting go, shifting your mindset, setting intentions and not just goals, being patient with yourself. We've talked about acknowledging your emotions, having a support system, practicing self-care. And now let's talk about how to turn starting over into something beautiful, because it's always beautiful. The process is always uncomfortable. Sometimes the process is ugly because it's filled with a lot of tears. It's filled with a lot of worry, which we should not, but we do. The flesh does, but we need to, it's easier said than done, but it's a practice, right? And so how do you turn starting over into something beautiful? Okay, let's talk about it. Starting over is an opportunity to create something new, something beautiful that aligns with who you are now. So here's how. See it as a new beginning, not an end. So instead of viewing starting over as an end of something, shift your mindset to see it as a new opportunity, a new time, a new beginning for something better. So even if you got laid off your job and it was unexpected to you, look at it as God's redirection. When it's anything that didn't have nothing to do with you and it happened, let's say it happened for you, right? We're not going to say it happened to you. It happened for you. And the reason why I can say it happened for you, because a lot of times it's God's redirection. And sometimes we won't move unless some drastic things happen. Sometimes God is speaking to us and telling us things to do, and we won't move. And so sometimes the drastic has to happen in our lives in order to shift us, to get us in this new where he's been trying to take us or lead us, but we weren't trying because of complacency, right? And that goes for not just job, but that's in relationships as well. We hold on to relationships that we know that has expired, and we holding on to these relationships that can't go into the new season in which you are going, right? And so we hold on to these things. However, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And I'm sure we've talked about it, but look at starting over as the beginning of something better, right? Whatever that start over is for you, right? So this new phase of life holds endless possibilities. So when you're saying, I'm starting over, but guess what? This new chapter, because I always look at things as chapters. This new chapter of life, I have endless possibilities. I can make it as beautiful, as colorful, as joyful as I want. Not to say it won't be a process, because in all things, it's a process and it's usually uncomfortable. But if you stick with it and you don't grow weary, you're going to see all of that beautiful things that you imagine come to pass in your life. And so look at it as a blank canvas where you get to redesign or design the life that you truly want. And focus on the growth, not perfection, right? So starting over is about learning. It's about evolving. It's about growing, right? Even if you are up for promotion, it's still going to be about learning. It's still going to be about growing. It's still going to be about evolving. So these things that I'm telling you, it applies to every single aspect of your life. But it's not about being perfect, right? I almost didn't want to start. Well, I prolonged starting doing the Beautiful Living with Keisa show for a long time because it didn't look like how I wanted it to look. I wanted to be in a studio. I wanted lights, camera, action, honey. Okay. That's what I wanted. I wanted y'all to be able to see my whole outfit every time I come on here on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And I had started looking. And then I'm like, well, how much that's going to cost me every week? How much is going to do this and da da da? And then some wise people that I didn't know, but they was at my house. And they was like, you know what? Your living room is perfect. And I had been thinking about it. But I had this bigger vision, not to say that it won't ever come to pass, but I wasn't starting because it wasn't perfect. It wasn't how I envisioned it. And sometimes, not sometimes, all times is about just getting started. You are speaking to me. Well, I am so happy that I'm glad you're resonating with this over here on IG. And so sometimes, oh, they laughing at me over here on Facebook, but not proud about this. But sometimes we hold ourselves back, right? We hold ourselves back from being great in that moment because every step is a moment of greatness because you are bold enough to take it. And so, no, I'm not in the studio yet, right? I'm not where you can see my whole entire outfit with from head to toe yet. However, yes, just get started. Yes, just get started. Just get started. Sell it. Sell whatever it is that you're selling. Perfect it later. The more you do it, the more you're going to see, oh, I can do this different. Or next time I have courses that I've done over years. And I'm like, okay, you know what? As I evolve, as I grow, I want to do something different. I want to add something else to this. So it's not about being perfect. And a lot of times we get stuck in the perfect because we don't know. We let that stop us because of our own how I'm trying to say this, our own need to be perfect. And nobody's perfect here on earth. Nothing that we do is going to be perfect. And it's perfect because you started. It's perfect because you took the step. And so I want you to focus on growth, not perfection. That's right. But you are here. Yes, I am here showing up every Wednesday looking fabulous. Yes. Thank you so much. And so I am devoted to showing up 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. Sometimes you may see me in my pink chair. Sometimes you may see me on the couch with the pink pillows behind me, okay? I get to choose. I even have a blue couch. I may do that next week. Who knows, right? But it doesn't matter. I'm showing up. So the point of this is to show up, to not wait for it to be perfect, but to get started. Because even in the show up, somebody's waiting for you right there where you are. And you showing up where you are helps somebody else to say, well, I've been over here overthinking it and she out here doing it. Let me go and show up. Let me go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and focus on this growth that I need to focus on. And so a lot of times I say people are selfish. Even I, in that moment, was being selfish because I wanted to look this way. But every day that was delayed, I am delaying somebody else for showing up because we all are tied to somebody else. Whether you want to agree with it, we all are tied to somebody else's growth in some form or fashion, right? And so focus on the growth, not perfection. And celebrate the wins, right? So each step forward, no matter how small the win is. Honey, I am celebrating over here. Yes, honey, give me a hand clap. Yes, yes, yes. I got started. I'm right here in my living room. I'm cute with I'm over here with my plant that's down in the back that I've been trying to save. All of that, all the things, right? But I'm here and I'm celebrating that I'm here and it's Wednesday and I showed up. And y'all don't know what I might have endured before I got on here, right? But that's neither here or there. So I celebrate the wins. I celebrate when people come on here and show. I celebrate. Well, I haven't had thank you, Lord. I haven't had a time where no one has showed up. But even in that moment, I have to know that somebody will catch the replay, right? And I still have to show up, right? So whether it's updating your resume for a new job or clearing out the clutter to refresh your home, celebrate these moments with victories. Make sure to acknowledge your progress. Doing so will keep you motivated. And so, now, how are you going to show up? Now, how are you going to show up for this new person? No, I'm not even going to say how you're going to show up for this new person. How you want to show up while you starting over, right? Because we ain't gonna wait till you become this new person. We ain't waiting to that part, right? We ain't waiting. How are you going to show up as you are growing? How are you going to show up in your season of growth? That's what I would call it. So let's talk about it. So I talk about personal style and how personal style plays a crucial role, right? And how you feel about yourself, especially when you're starting over. Okay. This is not the time to let yourself go. This ain't the time to let yourself go. This ain't the time to be like, no, woe me. I don't feel like shopping. I don't feel like putting on no clothes. I don't feel like any of that. One thing I can say, now my best friend would say, yep, celebrate the wins, Aliza. Celebrate the wins. One thing I would say though, what my best friend said I did have one day when I was going through it that I came to work. She said because she knew what was going on with me. She was like, wait a minute, that ain't key. But nobody else knew, but she knew that wasn't the way I stepped. So I'm saying that to say, you may have a day, but whatever it is that you're going through, don't let it be reflective in how you showing up. Okay. Don't be dressing don't be dressing based on what you're going through. Okay. This is not the time to let yourself go. So the way you dress and carry yourself reflects the new empowered version of you, and it gives you confidence. And whether it's new, it reflects where you are and where you're heading just the same, right? But it gives you a confidence boost that you need to step boldly into this next chapter. And so as you evolve, so should your personal style. So I always say use clothing, accessories, and overall, to spruce up your overall look as you evolve into the person that you're becoming, right? So choose outfits that make you feel comfortable, that makes you feel confident, that makes you feel powerful, that makes you feel aligned with the vision that you have for your future self, right? So for example, you may want to incorporate some bold colors. When you're going through it and starting over, honey, you need some stuff that's going to help you have me some pick me up. Sometimes all you got is I can get dressed for the day, and this makes me feel great for the day, right? Put on some bold colors, right? Refresh your wardrobe if you need to symbolize the fresh start. I was finding something to put on to come on here tonight, and I realized there was some stuff in there, even though I purged so many times through the year. And I do have people that I can give my stuff to, so I'm so blessed. Then they get some really good stuff. But I was like, I gotta go in here and purge again because I thought I needed all these pieces, but where I'm going and the vision that I keep seeing and the things, I don't need some of this stuff for where I'm going. Some of this stuff I can let go. So this weekend I plan on starting that process of letting go of some more things because I see where I'm heading and making sure that I have those pieces in my arsenal for where I'm going, right? Your outward appearance, which is pillar number 8, right? It's not pillar number 8, sorry, pillar number 7 to beautiful living. Outward appearance, right? It can have a big impact on how you feel immediately. So when you are starting over, don't allow your clothing, how you show up and you dress to impact that, because it can have an impact on how you feel internally and an immediate response to how you feel, right? So dress in a way that makes you feel good, boost your mood and your self-esteem, making you feel more confident. And when we are reinventing our personal style, it doesn't have to be traumatic, right? So start with small wardrobe cleanse. Like I just said, I need to go in there and cleanse out some more. I feel like I'm always cleansing. And I feel like when I cleanse, like I have gotten everything out. But that is not the truth, right? So let go of all the old clothes, right? They no longer serve you. So as we are purging relationships, purging old relationships and jobs and things that are not in alignment where you know your head and your purpose and what God is calling you to do, them clothes got to go too, honey. Don't be holding on to the what was. Let that stuff go so you can make room for new stuff. I always say that. Don't be holding on to those clothes. If you go into your closet, talking about you ain't got nothing to wear, you need to throw away the whole closet, okay? Just throw away the whole closet and start over. Because obviously you got something there. You don't want to wear what you got. So that means first you need to be in my Style and the Power course. That's what that means. You need to come and sign up for my Style and the Power course so I can get you on track when it comes down to this wardrobe, okay? Because the ladies, honey, they have been learning and putting things in place. More about that a little later, okay? So add a new piece that excites you. something that symbolizes your new chapter. And, it could be a chic blazer for the males, because I see I have a few males that have popped on here. It's still a nice, a nice jacket, right? For a career reboot or a bold accessory that makes you feel like your best self. These changes can reflect the internal transformation that you need to keep going. So, starting over is as much an emotional process as it is a practical one. When you embrace the opportunities for growth, manage the emotions that come with it, because baby, those emotions come with it, and use your personal style to reflect the empowered version of you, because style can really help you get through some things. I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you what I know. You can turn a fresh start into something truly beautiful. So the key is to be patient with yourself and trust the process, and recognize that every new beginning brings you closer to a life you were meant to live. When things get tough or uncertain, remind yourself of why you're starting over, right? Keep your vision and long-term goals in mind to stay motivated. It's important to stay connected to the bigger picture so that the temporary setbacks that you will have those temporary setbacks, don't deter you from the path of growth. By embracing the power of starting over, you can rebuild your life in a way that truly reflects the desires that you have. So, beautiful people, that wraps up tonight's episode of Beautiful Living with Keisa. I hope this conversation about starting over has given you a fresh perspective and maybe even a little inspiration to embrace the new beginnings in your own life. I've had a few new beginnings, and I'm here to tell you that it was a process. A process now as we speak. It's rough, it's tough. There's some tears, there is some uncertainty, but baby, I'm here to tell you, if you stay the course and you don't give up. Okay, doctor. Wait a minute. I'm just now seeing some of these comments. Wink. That was a sidebar. Okay, but I'm here to tell you for real. Starting over is truly a process. And it's hard because the process is often difficult, and it's which people don't like. People want to skate past the process. They if something happens and they want to get to the other side, and they don't want to go through the process, which is usually painful a lot of times. It usually comes with a lot of tears. I am in a process now, as I just said, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes I want to throw in the towel, but I have to remember the bigger picture. I have to realize what the vision is and what my intentions are, what my goals are, and that's what keeps me going in my support system. And so in life, we all are going to encounter a time and a place where we are starting over. So I hope that you have taken copious notes. And if you're just joining me, I am wrapping up. So I encourage you to go back, because I dropped some good nuggets for you to write down and have in your arsenal, because you're going to need it. So remember that starting over isn't a sign of failure, because a lot of times we feel like we failed. We feel like we failed at something. I know I felt like that, except when I quit my job. I didn't feel like I failed. Only thing I felt like I was just there too long, especially when the Lord had been telling me to move, and I didn't, because of fear, because of the uncertainty, because of all the what ifs, right? All the things that we put in our mind, this little brain of ours that keeps us stuck and stagnant. And it's time to release those things. And it's time to step forward, right? And it's time to move forward, because it's inevitable. You're going to have to start over at some point. But don't look at it as a sign of failure. It's an incredible opportunity to rediscover yourself, to realign with your purpose, and to create the life you truly want. So whether it's your career, whether it's a relationship or relationships, because it don't necessarily mean it has to be a romantic one. It could be friends that you need to let go of. And I'm just keeping it real, right? Or even how you express yourself through your personal style. Every fresh start brings you one step closer to living fully and authentically. For all the women under the sound of my voice, and you are ready to refresh your start, and you don't know your style, and you don't know how to do that, I do empower women in life, business, and style, and I merge all three of those beautiful things. But I do have a track where it's just style and empower, to help you along the way on your journey. Of a fresh start, right? So thank you so much for tuning in tonight and for being a part of this beautiful journey with me. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to share it with someone who might need to hear it. And feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories about starting over. And for more practical tips and how you can continue to grow and elevate in life, grab my book, The Journey to Beautiful Living, 7 Pillars for Living a Fulfilled Life. I'm telling you, there's some good nuggets in here. I got a lot of great reviews. Check it out on all platforms. You'll see the reviews there, right? Also, go deeper in your style journey, right? I am all things style over here, beauty, style, and beautiful life, beautiful living, all those things. So grab my ebook, Release the Style Within You, on my website, KeisaCampbell.com, and follow my LTK and Amazon storefront. Links are in my bio for more fashion tips. And then these resources are designed to help you embrace your authentic self, cultivate your unique style, and live out your purpose with excellence. So visit my website at KeisaCampbell.com if you're ready to live out your purpose, career, and show up in style and confidence. Whew. Beautiful living isn't just a destination. It's a journey we take every single day. It's about deciding what we want our lives to look like and taking the steps to make that vision a reality. Every day that God allows you to open your eyes and that you are above ground is an opportunity to make your life truly beautiful. It's not about perfection. I talked about that, but about progress. Let's take this journey together, supporting and uplifting one another along the way. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend. I'll see you next time for more real talk, inspiration, and empowerment right here on Beautiful Living with Keisa. Until next time, keep embracing your journey, keep living beautifully, and always remember, your next chapter is waiting for you to make it amazing. And know that beautiful living awaits you. I love y'all. Good night.